of the many vessels that is described in the parsha of this week that Moshe Rabbeinu was told by God to build for the Mishkan, to prepare for the temple, for the sanctuary, is the menorah, the candelabra. And the Torah says, and you should take, Vasisa menorah of Torah should make a golden menorah, pure gold, miksha, one piece, not soldered together, but all from one piece, should have branches coming out from its sides, 6 branches, 3 from each side, together a total of 7. They should be adorned with flowers, cups, buttons as he calls it, all part of the menorah itself, and it should be giving the shiny, bright light for the whole world. Interesting enough, while the Torah describes the way the menorah should look, it doesn't say at all, those branches, how were they? Round, circular, angular, straight? So we know menorah, especially from Hanukkah, the traditional menorahs, they're all kind of rounded branches. Menorah Hanukkah is 8, plus the Shabbos. Beis Hamikdash was 7. But they're known as round ones. The Rebbe says this is a fundamental mistake and a serious error. Not just historically, but in concept. And let me explain. Rashi, basic commentary on Rashi. Rashi says on the words that the pasuk says, Yotzim mitzideo, the branches that are coming out from the sides, lekano of each side, says Rashi, be'alachson, angular, clearly, not rounded, they're angular. There are 2 famous sages by the name of Rabbi Yosef Shalit, Ben Eliezer Riketi, and Rabbi Emmanuel Ricci. They claim, they're both from the 17th century, they claim that it was actually rounded. And they say the reason, since Maimonides Rambam does not say that they were angular, we go with the traditional image that it was rounded. Now, what's the traditional image? The traditional image that we know of is the Arch of Titus in Rome. This was built in the year 81 after the Common Era by the Emperor Domitian, and he did this to honor his older brother who had just passed away, Titus, and his father, Vespasian, to commemorate their victories, including the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, the sending the Jewish people into exile. And there on this arch, there is this famous plaque, commemorative plaque, where there also in relief, where it depicts also a menorah which is carried away from Jerusalem. And there the menorah is one with rounded branches. So this is the traditional image that we have of the menorah. So they say Rambam doesn't describe that it was angular. So although Rashi says that it was angular, we will follow the opinion that it was rounded. But interesting enough, eventually they found in the Oxford Library a manuscript, a handwritten manuscript from Rambam himself, where the Rambam on Pirush HaMishnayos makes a design. And as you see here, the design is one which is actually angular, exactly as Rashi says. So based on the fact that the Rambam didn't say it, Rambam does. So obviously, that's a mistake. But then again, what's the big difference? Why is it so important if it's not that it's angular instead of rounded? So the Rebbe explains the following. That image of rounded comes from Titus. What is Titus? Titus is the one who destroyed the Beis Hamikdash. Titus is the one who sent the Jewish people into exile. Is this what we want to remember? The Talmud says that the menorah symbolizes the Jewish eternity. The menorah symbolizes our infinite connection with God. The menorah represents the unity of the Jewish people, and therefore it has to be made of one piece of gold. Not something that can be soldered together. It has to be from one piece. So the menorah is just the opposite of what Titus is all about. Why would we, 2,000 years, commemorate Titus rather than commemorating the beautiful menorah of how it is in the Beis HaMikdash? Because by commemorating the positive dimension of the menorah, we will have it soon. And therefore the Rebbe insists on correcting that error of not having those menorahs rounded but angular. And may the Eibishter help that any moment now we should actually see the menorah as it was in the Mishkan, the first temple, and we will have it once again in the final temple with Mashiach. And may this happen now.